What's going on, everyone? This is City Wrestling Radio, November 28th, 2022. I'm your host, Korey Smith, being joined, as always, by my co-host, the dad you wish you all had, the local baddie and daddy of City Wrestling Radio, Mr. Jose Ocegueda.
Wow, what an intro. Thank you very much, Korey Smith. How are you doing, and how is everybody doing with the big bellies post-Thanksgiving?
I am doing great. It is another day. You said post-Thanksgiving. Sales are aplenty right now, you know. I think everyone's got enough turkey in their system. I didn't have really any turkey. I had a little bit at work. There was a little like, hey, you guys want a little... Well, you're working Thanksgiving, so here's a pre-made dinner. It was really good. But nonetheless, Thanksgiving, now Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and you know, one of the best sales there is, I think, and it's the best sale. It's all year round. It's helping us at City Wrestling Radio.
There you go.
Because, like, you know, sometimes it just really helps us to take time out of your day to click the like, share, subscribe button down below, because it really does help out the show. Or, you know, frankly, I don't know. Don't, because YouTube, it knows you. At this point, it's 2022. Their algorithms are made to know everything you like and just give it to you right when you log in. So don't click the like or subscribe button, because we'll just show up in your feed anyways. Just keep watching. It helps us out, you know. Anyways, we got a lot to get into today, because Sami Zayn, he has pledged his undying allegiance to the Bloodline. We're going to take a look at Survivor Series War Games, updates on both Randy Orton and Logan Paul, and does AEW have a little problem in their championship division? We're going to take a look at that. All that and more this week on City Wrestling Radio. I don't know why I felt like I did a weird intro like that, but hey, let's get into it. Let's kick things off. War Games 2022. Jose, what did you think of the show overall?
Overall, I wanted a little bit more bang for my buck, right? But we did get two amazing War Game matches. One that actually outperformed the other physically. But the other was a little bit more emotional and, you know, a lot more fun storytelling.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the story of the entire night was Sami Zayn and the Bloodline and all of that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I heard a lot of people complaining, like, it's really weird, because I hear a lot of people, they're just, like, comparing this to, like, War Games of, like, the 90s and the 80s, and I'm like, this is different.
Yeah.
This is different. We might be able to compare this to the NXT War Games, sure.
Even then, it's not main roster, right?
Exactly. I mean, this is, you know, they even said it on last night. They were like, oh, this is every member of the Bloodline. This is all their first time in War Games. Where it's like, cool. Butch, although Butch was like, it was like his fourth War Games in a row.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The show overall, to me, it had its moments. You're right. I think the main part was it was Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. They're the ones that carried the entire show, despite, you know, having some other parts. Let's just get into it, shall we?
Let's go.
All right. Let's kick it off with the Women's War Games match. Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Michan, Mia Yim, and Bianca Belair versus I don't know why I wrote this, a very leggy Rhea Ripley, a Nikki Cross, and Damage Control. I think I said the Rhea Ripley thing, because like as soon as that match started, Twitter just lit up. Like, they were the thirstiest thing I've ever seen. I'm just like, guys, let's simmer down. Although it was cool when you see that camera inside the cell and Rhea Ripley is just doing the pull-ups. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. So this is not the greatest War Games match of all time. This did get 39 minutes and 40 seconds, though. The match starts with Dakota Kai and Bianca Belair, and start off with this 5-minute interval clock, which both matches started with, and I guess that's just the thing. But I don't know. To me, it was just it was too long. That 5 minutes, I was just kind of like
Maybe cut it down to 3.
I thought I thought all the intervals should have been 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Which, to me, I was just like, oh yeah, I know War Games, it's fine. And then it goes from 3 minutes to 5 minutes, and I was like, what is going on? There is chaos in the ring. Can somebody please figure things out? And
Yeah.
I don't know. Io was next into the match. Io, she's great, and I love her, but she messed up on one spot. I think it was, there was double knees in the corner to somebody, Bianca Belair. And she missed, and she messed up, and the Boston crowd completely turned on her. Yeah. Like, they started booing her, and I was just like, F you, Boston. Like,
yeah.
Well, what did you think of this crowd? I mean, I thought they were kind of quiet at times, and they were all over the place, in my opinion.
Yeah, they were. I mean, it didn't seem like your average crowd, right? They weren't as smart as certain crowds could be. Philadelphia, New York,
San Francisco,
San Francisco, Oakland, but
no, just San Francisco.
Yeah, it was strange. That spot that you're talking about, it looked like there was a timing issue, and Bianca wasn't ready to take the knees, and I think she communicated that, and Io had to take a step back, and she tried again.
Yeah.
When she tried again, that's when she tripped up, and then the third time was the one that hit.
Asuka was next in, and she ran wild. Nikki Cross comes in and beats down on everyone, brings in a bunch of weapons, and then licks the fence for some weird reason.
Ew.
You saw that, right? That was weird.
Yeah, that's how you catch foot, head, and mouth.
Alexa Bliss comes in, and I'll give it to Alexa Bliss because she is looking a lot more crisp in the ring. Mm-hmm. She is going faster than she ever has before. A lot more during, like right now compared to during the Vince McMahon era in WWE. Mm-hmm. She is giving it her all, and I think she's been training. It seems like she's been training. At least that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and can you maybe agree that there's a shift in her attitude? It doesn't seem like she's as happy as she usually is.
You think so? Like her character or her...
Not her character. I want to say her personal demeanor. Like she feels like she might be getting shafted.
Okay.
But that's, my speculation. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it.
I mean, I think she's... like I said, to me, it seems like she's been working on her in-ring abilities.
No, yeah, she looks great.
So I don't know. I haven't noticed that, but it is something to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, give it a look next time.
Next comes in Bayley comes in. Like in this match, it was the traditional, heels have the advantage in the War Games. And a lot of people were complaining about the main event, how the faces had the advantage, but it's like...
Look, we'll get to it, but I'm just going to say this right now. Roman is your draw there, and you want him last.
Yeah, absolutely.
Either last or first.
No, you are 100% right. More weapons brought into the ring with Bayley, Mia Yim next. Now Rhea Ripley. There is a very cool spot where Rhea Ripley holds a reverse cloverleaf on Asuka, while Io Shirai runs back and forth on the ropes, hitting a missile or a basement drop kick to Asuka. And then Becky Lynch comes in, and War Games has officially begun.
Yes.
Becky beats down on all the heels. Another cool spot where Bianca goes for the KOD on Io, but she lands on her feet. Becky hits her with the manhandle slam. And then Becky goes for a manhandle slam on Dakota Kai, but she lands on her feet. And then Bianca hits the KOD on Kai. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool spot. Yeah. We get KOD to Bayley in the cage. Then Becky goes up to the top after setting damage control on tables, both Io Sky and Dakota Kai.
We know what you're talking about.
I know. I'm just correcting myself. Yeah. I gotta get. It's one of those things. Like, yeah, we know who you're talking about, but if I keep saying it in like in a year, people are gonna be like, yeah. Dude, her name has been Io Sky for how long, and you're still saying Shirai?
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue better. I'm sorry.
Okay. The fact that people were like, it's Io Sky. She's the genius of the sky. That sounds dumb.
Sounds redundant, yeah.
If you say she's Io Shirai, the queen of the sky.
I love it.
It's so much better.
It's like a rapper using the same word to rhyme. You know what I mean? I hate that. That's like one of my pet peeves.
It's just even like as I get more into writing, in my professional life, it's just like, I'm like, it drives me crazy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like I said, Becky set both Kai and Sky on the table, and then she goes up to the top of the cage and hits a Hogan style leg drop, brother. Because you know how she's back to the man gimmick. You know, I was wrong. I was way off about AJ Lee. I get it. Sasha Banks, I guess she's fucking out of here. That's nothing on me, but like I haven't heard anything, but it seems like it at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So she's back and she's doing, she's always done. She did the manhandle slam, which is, the rock bottom. Now she's doing the leg drop off the top. Yeah. Okay, sorry. She's doing it's the spinning solo. Like we all know what it really is. But yeah, she gets the leg drop on. Kai gets the pin and the win. That was a fun match. Great way to start the show. I mean, I think we watched another show last week where I was sitting there saying the opening match just was not something that got me into the show. With Full Gear, and I thought this match really, despite it not being a great match, I was like, this is fun. I liked it. I wasn't a lot of points where I was like, that looked horrible. And all right.
Yeah, so there was that strange spot where Asuka was on the turnbuckle and she threw a kick to somebody. Then she fell off the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, crap, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Bianca's still somewhat sloppy, man. I'm not very comfortable with her.
Bianca?
Yeah, man. She's sloppy. I mean, she's great. Physically, she's awesome. She has a strength of 1,000 men.
Yeah.
But for some reason, there's just some certain kicks don't look believable or they look mistimed.
Strength of 1,000 men, but made for a woman.
There you go. Asuka, believe it or not, she's coming off a little sloppy. Everybody else, they were. I don't want to say adequate because that's cold-blooded to say. It was a fun match. I had fun.
Next up, we had Jey Uso backstage talking to Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, as we all know him as. We got to acknowledge him. Describing what happened last week or this past Friday night on SmackDown when Kevin Owens was telling Sami Zayn how he should turn on the Bloodline before the Bloodline turns on him, and that's when Roman asks the wise man Paul Heyman to call Sami Zayn into the dressing room to have a discussion with him. So it was the start kind of tonight of the storyline of Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. Next up, one of my kind of bigger letdowns of the past couple weeks. AJ Styles versus Finn Balor. This match,
I was so hoping for so much more.
This match got 18 minutes and 25 seconds. I agree. I 100% agree. Because, weeks ago when this match was made, I was so juiced. I was like, oh my God, Survivor Series from 4 years ago again. I'm so excited. And maybe wrestling has changed. Maybe I've changed. I don't know. Maybe it's like, did this bag of chips get smaller? Or did I get bigger? Type of situation. Did wrestling just get better around it and I just got used to decent wrestling? Because these two men got in the ring and they just kind of
paint by numbers, right?
Had a match. What did you think of this match?
Paint by numbers. I mean, it felt like they were sparring at certain points. Yeah. It didn't feel like a big-time event fight. It felt like something on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, AJ came down with the club. Balor came down with Judgment Day, minus Rhea Ripley. And, a lot of people were saying, like, oh, why couldn't this just been a 6-person tag? You could have had a little bit more action to it. I think it would have overloaded the show with multi-person matches, though.
Yeah, there weren't any. How many other single matches did you get? You got this and 2 women's matches.
One,
you're right.
Yeah, one. Like I said, I wanted this match to be more than it was, but it was mediocre at best. The 2 teams battle on the outside. They both disappear. There was a cool spot where AJ goes for a coup de grace. Balor dodges. Finn hits his. He goes for a Styles Clash 2. They both. And I think that was like something that was happening the entire night too, where a lot of people were doing that spot where they were trading moves. Calf Crusher to Balor. Balor battles out, slamming AJ's head down to the mat. The 2 exchange a series of kicks. Then we just get a phenomenal forearm to Finn Balor, and as Dennis Reynolds says, in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Then it just kind of ends.
You know, whoever produced this match, you should be apologizing up and down in the internet, dude. I'm sorry. And it better not be Kurt Angle's son.
Jason Jordan.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I think that their job was saved. I do. I really do.
Really?
Well, because because I'm just going to move on. Because that match, it was what it was. Paint by numbers. I didn't like it. And I like what you said about whoever produced this match. Because, yeah, they were probably in trouble for about 10 minutes, until this next match happened.
Oh, it got overshadowed.
Whoever produced that last match was like, oh, thank God. Oh, my God. Whew. Balor, AJ, we're good. We're good, guys. But no, I mean, the AJ Finn match, it was what it was. And I guess they're just, I don't know, maybe AJ's just getting older.
Maybe.
I do think he needs to trim his hair. It's getting a little long.
Yeah.
It's getting a little long.
Let's go back to the soccer mom do.
Yeah. So I was saying next up, Ronda Rousey defeating Shotzi Blackheart, as a lot of us know her by, for the SmackDown, retaining the SmackDown Women's title. First off, I would love to say I love how Shotzi is billed from Oakland, California.
I was just about to say that. Took the words out of my mouth.
That is really cool because you don't see that. And then you see other Bay Area people like Will Hobbs, who's billed from East Palo Alto. It's just like, that's awesome how they're not just being like, oh, no, you're from San Francisco or you're from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Usos,
are they billed from Hayward or from San Francisco?
No. I think they used to get billed from San Francisco.
Okay.
Because I'm pretty sure back when they came in, when they had the the neon face paint and things like that, that they were billed from San Francisco.
Okay.
But the Shotzi Ronda Rousey, this match seemed very clunky at times. It seems like Ronda is continuing this trend of just dominating every moment she is in, anytime, anywhere. And I don't think she really gets I don't know, man. I can't sit there and really say that because she's working in the business and I'm not. But
yeah, to
me, it seems like, why is she dominating every single thing? Like, she seems like she's overpowering the situation,
Yeah, she's trying to get Fiend over here.
Like, and it's not like politicking, but I think it's more of like she doesn't want to put other people over,
Or doesn't know how.
And, I think she looks at someone like Shotzi and says, this is not a credible threat. Why should I be selling for her? But there was a lot of times where she should have been selling more and she should have been doing a little bit more for this match. But it was just more Ronda dominating the entire time. This is not a good match at all. In fact, probably one of the worst matches I've seen in WWE TV in a long time. Ronda seemed like she didn't want to sell at all, like I just said. And for Shotzi the entire match, and I don't know, kind of getting sick of that stuff. I'll say that. I'll say stuff. There was a cool spot, though, where there was a cool spot. I will give Ronda this. There was when Shotzi was coming off the top, and she hits her with a judo throw, or she catches her and hits her with a judo throw.
Can I say I hate that move so much? A standing judo throw? I hate that move.
Why?
It just looks lame. It looks like a standard Steven Seagal kill.
Well, this was when Shotzi was coming off the top rope.
That's what made it good, right?
Yeah.
But when she does the standing throw, it's just very amateurish.
I hear you, and it's all she does. And I think it's one of the things. It's one of the things that's like, they do that in UFC, and the wrestlers can take it.
Well, they punch each other for real in UFC. Come on.
Well, that's the thing, is the wrestlers can actually take the judo throw. So,
horrible. Just do an arm drag.
Yeah. So there we go. So despite the cool spot, there was a very, 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 very horrible botchamania, probably top 10 of the week spots where, so Ronda's on the outside of the ring apron and Shotzi's on the inside. And Shotzi gets Ronda by her hand, and then she climbs up the ropes, kind of, standing on that top rope, not on the turnbuckle, but on the rope. Like I said, and then it seems like she's going to go for a DDT maneuver from the top rope, hitting Ronda to the outside. But Ronda, I don't know if it was some sort of miscue of what was going on or what, but she holds onto that top rope, allowing Shotzi to fall to the outside in a completely botched what the fuck just happened spot.
Yeah, I take it back. Bianca is a super athlete. She's a great worker. This woman, man, arg. That's what I'm gonna say. Arg.
It just, to me, it seems ridiculous. It seems, I know there could be miscommunications, but it seems like there's a lot of that, and there was a lot of that in this match. Like there was even that other spot where she got caught in the ropes. You know,
it always feels like she's doing this. Oh no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying earlier. It doesn't seem like she wants to. And what I mean by she doesn't know what it means to be a pro wrestler, it's like, to be a pro wrestler, you're putting on a show. You're not just going there saying you're the baddest bitch on the planet. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's your character, but the baddest bitch on the planet has to lose every now and again. And not just be built up to be this unbeatable force every single time.
At least be in peril every once in a while.
You know, Becky Lynch isn't going to headline WrestleMania every year. That's a fact. Ronda Rousey has to learn that sometimes she's going to lose in the opening match on Elimination Chamber. That's point blank. That's wrestling. If that's what the storyline calls for, that's what it needs to be.
And your shotgun take of the week by Korey Smith,
Boom.
ladies and gentlemen. There it is.
So then she, they battle into the crowd. I do love. They battle into the crowd, and then Shotzi jumps off the barricade onto Rousey, Baszler, and then they're like, "Oh, 3 fans." The fans are selling. They're selling more than the wrestlers. They're just
those had to be plants, right?
Oh, dude, they were like 3 buff dudes wearing sweatpants and wrestling shirts.
Yeah,
buff guys wearing sweatpants. They're wrestlers. They're wrestlers.
Yeah.
So. Back in the match, right when they get back in the ring, Ronda hits Shotzi with a Piper's Pit, armbar, submission, victory, because that's Ronda Rousey. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Next up, we have Sami Zayn. He comes in to speak with the Tribal Chief in the back locker room, and, Sami admits everything, and he doesn't lie. He tells Roman exactly how it went down. He says, Kevin Owens came up to me. He told me I should turn on you guys before you turn on me. And, Roman asked, why did you lie to Jay? He says, well, he was going to have a match for the War Games advantage. And I didn't want him to think about that. I didn't want that on his mind. I didn't want that weighing him down. So I chose not to tell him. And I withheld information from him. And then he said, no, I lied to him. And I lied to him for this reason. And Roman stands up and he gives Sami a hug, but he's still unsure about Sami Zayn's loyalty.
So what did Kevin say? What did KO say?
Yeah. Well, it was just the whole, you should turn on them before you turn on. And it's just, we'll see where it goes, We'll see.
Dude, the payoff better be good because this Bray Wyatt payoff stuff is not working out.
I forgot about Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
He hasn't been on a pay-per-view, has he?
It's in Saudi.
Next up, Austin Theory defeated Seth Rollins and Bobby Lashley in 14 minutes and 50 seconds to become the 2-time United States champion. I mean, to say this was match of the night so far, Jose, is not saying much at all. But
yeah, you're right.
It was technically match of the night so far.
Hey, nice swerve, nice finish. I'm down. I mean, there's a lot of disappointed faces out there, but I was happy that they fooled me.
What did you think of the match?
I thought it was a decent match, decent 3-way.
Yeah.
That final spear could have been better, but that's okay. I understand they were trying to avoid injury or what have you. Like I said, I like the swerve finish. The crowd just in shock. That was great. It's rare that you see that.
I think WWE fans know that if a title change happens after a match, if you go like this, if you open your mouth and you look shocked, you're gonna get on TV.
Maybe that's what we should
I do it every time at a WWE show just to try to make it on. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's how the Undertaker guy, oh my God. Undertaker.
That was a supercell, right? That looked like a supercell.
Yeah. Austin Theory's looking a lot better, as much as I hate to admit it. Lashley is his weird open sore on his chest is starting to heal too, and I'm glad that, because that was kind of gross. I'm not trying to be weird about it, but it was like this weird. It looked like a burn or open, like it was like this thing on his chest, and he had like this plastic tape over it, but it just like I can see it. I'm just like, dude, there's an open sore on your chest, and you're wrestling still.
I think that plastic tape is for burns.
Maybe it was a burn. Yeah, maybe he got burned really bad right there. What did he get burned? What is he into?
The Wizard caught him backstage.
Well, the Wizard.
Yeah, Jericho the Wizard.
Oh, okay. I was like, anyways. So this match had a lot of Bobby Lashley running wild. There was a cool spot though where Bobby Lashley was tossed into the ring post, but he stops it. But after he stops it, out of nowhere, Seth Rollins comes flying with a knee, knocking Lashley over to the ring keeper's area. Then Lashley was tossed into some stairs. Austin Theory runs wild with the stairs, knocking out both men. Lashley, he kicks out of a pedigree. Like I said, he's running wild this entire match. There's a lot of going in, a lot going into the end of this match. So let's take a look at it.
All right.
Rollins goes up to the top for a Phoenix Splash. Lashley dodges. Theory throws Rollins to the outside. We get a rolling blockbuster to Lashley. Theory goes for the A-Town down. Lashley reverses into a hurt lock. Theory kicks into the turnbuckle, almost pinning Lashley when Rollins finally hits a frog splash, breaking up the count. Lashley knocks out both men. He puts both men in the hurt lock. They break out. Rollins hits the elevated stomp off of off of Lashley onto Theory?
No, the other way around. Off of Theory onto Lashley.
Okay. Okay. And Rollins goes for the suplex Falcon Arrow combo to Theory. That's while Rollins has Theory up for the Falcon Arrow. Lashley spears Rollins, allowing Theory to fall on top of Rollins and get the pin and the win. And I don't know, like it was decent. Like you're right, the end of the match was a little, but I don't know.
Don't you get a sense now that Austin Aries has matured some?
Theory.
Oh, yeah, what am I thinking?
You're thinking of Austin Aries.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it seems like he's matured some, performer-wise, character-wise.
I hope so, because Austin Theory, he's one of those people that got called out in the Me Too thing, and not just for something that was just, hey, he got called out for texting a minor, allegedly. And it's hard to really be into him, and I hope that was not true, but you're right. He is maturing, and he is getting better, and I hate to keep bringing up things, but things like that do kind of stay in the forefront of my brain.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to remind people who people are, right?
Yeah. Oh, and I'm not, sitting here.
He may have evolved. We don't know.
That might have been all bullshit too. We don't know.
That too. Allegations
it's allegations. That's all they were. Because
Right.
I would never sit here on air and say this is exactly happened, because I don't fucking know. But that's just what I think about when I watch.
What I
matches.
do know is that he's the new Raw heavyweight champion. I'm not calling it the U.S. Championship. It's the Raw heavyweight championship.
Well, hopefully Theory doesn't get too raw. Next up, we have the men's War Games match. Kevin Owens wearing his Dusty Rhodes, his fabulous Dusty Rhodes t-shirt, baby. It says Bionic Elbow. Listen,
Love that.
baby. And what's up with Kevin Owens wearing jeans lately?
Yeah, what's that deal?
It's weird, right? I don't know. So one thing after I learned about, how The Rock wore the Adidas fit back in the day, he wore that because he was having he had tape all over his chest because he had a shoulder injury or whatever. So or he was getting work on his shoulder. So he wore that to cover everything up. So now every time I see
I heard
somebody
differently.
Okay.
I heard that he had breast surgery. That he had some chest reduction.
Okay, well,
surgery.
He had some sort of surgery, that he wanted to not show. So that's why he wore the clothes.
Right.
So now every time I see somebody wear different clothes, I'm like, the fuck's up? Like, what's going on here? Just like a couple weeks ago when Ricky Starks was wearing something different. I was like, why are you wearing just like a random, like, it was like jeans and like a cut off, like a midriff football jersey.
Yeah. No, for a while, Kevin Owens was seeing criticism over his pickup basketball player look, right? Because he had tall wrestling boots, knee pads, but then he brought these like Jordan shorts out, and then he had the cut off tank, so he looked like a guy at the rec center, like, I got next.
Yeah, he definitely had those shorts you would get at Ross that are like way too long.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, these are cool, like, but they are way too long, so you have to like pull them all the way up to like under your chest, and you're just like,
you had to untuck that shirt so you can hide where the waistband was.
Exactly, you're fine. So Theory, new champ, good for him.
Good for you.
Next up, we get the men's War Games match, the main event time. Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, Brawling Brutes versus the Bloodline. 38 minutes and 30 seconds, which I think is really funny because I think what was the other match, the other War Games match got about the same, 39 minutes and 40 seconds. So they were pretty much to the T, the exact amount of time. So we started this match off where Butch and Jey Uso start the match, and I kind of knew where it was going. I didn't know how they were going to get there, but I knew the second Jey Uso was the first person. I was like, oh, Sammy's the second person in there.
Yeah,
and I thought Sammy was going to, be more upfront about it, but it didn't. But anyways, Butch and Jey are in the ring. The two men taunt each other for a good minute or two. And this is where the 5-minute clock didn't feel as long, but... Butch lures Jey into the second ring, and Butch is working on Jey's fingers. Oh, and I didn't edit these notes down. Anyways, I'm going to go off memory because I don't want to fucking read all of those.
Yeah,
so,
let's go.
A lot of stuff happening in this match. Sami Zayn comes in next, but it's not because, like I said, it's not because I thought he was going to push past Jimmy and just say fuck it, and then everyone's going to be like, what's going on with Sami?
Yeah. That would have been good. That would have been better.
I think that would have been a little bit better, a little bit more suspense to it. But instead, the third person to go in was Jimmy tried to go in, and that's when Roman held him back and said, "Sami, you go in." They all get in the ring. Eventually, all 10 men get in the ring. There is a cool spot where everyone does like 20 beats of the Bowery. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Everyone's like, oh, everyone did 25. They didn't all do 25. Like some people did 17, some people did 25, it was over 150.
Buddy, you don't have to count. It doesn't have to be exact science.
I mean, does it though?
It doesn't have to be 20 on the dot.
Yeah. Towards the end of the match though, we get
for me 10 is enough, by the way.
10? Yeah,
10 is enough for me.
It was kind of cool when they did everyone at one time. If they all did 10 at the same time, that was kind of cool. Yeah. But the fact that they were doing like 20, and I don't know, it was a little much.
Yeah.
Towards the end of this match, though, somebody is bleeding, although I'm not sure who it is because there is blood on Roman's arm. I did notice that, and nobody else is really pointing this out, but somebody was either coughing up blood, and I hope it wasn't Roman. I'm just saying.
For a second, I thought Jimmy was bleeding from the face, but then I was like, well, maybe it's his hair?
Dude, that's the one thing. He has the best hair. Because anytime I look at him, I'm like, oh, dude, he's busted open. Oh, nope, his hair.
No,
it's hair. It's hair. Don't worry. It's good. So then KO and Roman kind of go at it. A stunner attempted. We get a Superman punch to KO. Pop-up powerbomb to a stunner to Roman.
Oh, I haven't seen that in a while.
That's what I know. I do like the pop-up powerbomb over the stunner. I hate when Kevin Owens does the stunner. Don't like the stunner, actually. Don't like it too much. It was Stone Cold's move. Not a big fan of it. I like cutter. I like a good cutter, but I don't like a good stunner. Sammy stops the ref. That's when Sammy and KO get in each other's face. Jimmy goes for a super kick to KO. That's when he goes for a super kick, and then KO catches it. We get a low blow to KO by Sami Zayn. That's when KO's in the corner. Sammy hits a haluva kick after given the orders by Roman. And he gives him the haluva kick. Jey Uso goes for the splash, gives him the splash, and Jey Uso pins Kevin Owens to win War Games.
Yeah, we get that cool catch of Kevin Owens that Sammy did. Almost like a goodbye hug.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where they go at this point. I mean, To me, I think the only way they can go is like they'd have to build it up to where the bloodline completely turns on Sammy. Like
or Jay.
I don't think the bloodline's turning on Jay.
I mean, it's
okay. So we didn't talk about that part. There was a big moment in the match where, Sammy is doing everything he can to help Jay. He even pulls Jay out of the way of Butch running into him, and he hits the cage. And then at one point, Jay goes for a super kick on somebody. I think it was on Butch, and then he moves out of the way and hits Sammy. And then Jimmy tries to pick up Sammy, and Jay says, "Nah, man, let's just we got this match." They kind of went at it for a bit in this match, and you think this is going to lead to repercussions for Jay?
I don't think right away. I think the ultimate swerve will be to end the storyline with them turning on Jay.
So then,
I'm not saying that that's going to happen, because
but then now we breaking up the
signs point to
Usos.
Sammy. Yeah, and isn't it about time?
Temporarily, but what do you do with Jimmy? Like, I just don't get what you would do with them. Like, they're a great tag team.
Naomi for a second.
They're just, I mean, okay. I mean, if you went down that road, yeah, it would be fun. It would be great, but it would have to be, they kick Jay out, and then Jimmy's like, "That's my brother." It's like, you can't talk to your brother. And then eventually Jimmy would have to leave too. You know what I mean? And then, you can do the downfall to where, and we were talking about this weeks ago, to where Sami Zayn is the one person that's still with Roman, the one person that's still by his side. Everyone, Solo left him, the Usos left him. Hell, you could even say Paul Heyman leaves him at one point, But Sami Zayn will be the one person carrying those titles down, kind of being the council. I don't know what fucking Paul Heyman calls himself some different every week.
The hanger on.
Yeah, but that was War Games 2022 Survivor Series. So
C+. Some matches better than others.
Yeah. Sure.
You know why I give these guys props? Remember when all the women were in the corner and they were doing that big pyramid of death powerbomb?
And they just gave up on it?
Yeah, I love that. I was not again.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it dismantled, I was like,
well, I thought they were gonna just get all 10 women to do it.
That's why I was so against it.
Let's move on though. War Games is done. We move on, and as we move on to the future, we take a look at our past, technically, because one person who knows a thing about a thing or two about War Games is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
He was involved in maybe one or two.
I know at least one. Because after a 12 years absence, the 69-year-old Ricky Steamboat made his in-ring return this weekend, teaming with FTR to take on Nick Aldis, Jay Lethal, and Brock Anderson. This had a lot of people kind of scratching their heads when because he refused to do Ric Flair's last match a couple months ago. Yeah, I mean, he did end up defeating Jay Lethal, Brock Anderson, and Nick Aldis, who that raises some questions about Nick Aldis now. He's performing more. I think he's going somewhere. But Jose, do you think this has got to be it for Dragon, right?
No, you know what? That decision not to wrestle Ric Flair was actually a smart decision, and I think he's smart enough to know we need someone to carry this match, and it ain't gonna be you, brother, and it's not gonna be me.
Yeah, no, definitely. And
so we opted for this match instead.
And look who was in this match. You had everyone in this match. You had FTR, Brock, even Brock Anderson. Everyone in this match is a worker. Brock Anderson, the son of Arn Anderson.
Yeah, Arn Anderson present at the match. Yeah.
So
I need to see clips. I need to see what Ricky looks like in action at age 69.
I mean, he looked good in his attire. I'll say that. I saw pictures.
Yeah, he looked great. Yeah.
So good for him. Next up, we get some injury updates on Randy Orton and Logan Paul. Because according to multiple sources, although first reported by Fightful Select, Randy Orton underwent back fusion surgery earlier this month.
Holy Christ.
Randy's wife posted on Instagram, she said, 7 wonderful years with the man of my dreams. You're the batshit crazy, but so am I. I trust you and you trust me. We could conquer the fucking world together if we feel like it. But for now, I just want you to be my daddy and me to be your mama and raise our beautiful children together as one big family. Yeah, she goes on saying love, family, loyalty. That's what we have tattooed on ourselves. That's what we stand for. Happy anniversary. I love you. But it was all accompanied with a picture of him in the hospital after his surgery. Yeah, he looked very knocked up. And she says at the end of this, by the way, if y'all only knew why this picture was taken. So, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's kind of weird, but whatever. Per the myhealth.alberta.c.
Damn, Biden.
You know what's funny? I'm writing for fucking media, and that's what I did for myself. I messed myself up. Per the myhealth.alberta.ca, recovery from lower back fusion surgery may take 4 to 6 weeks to get back to doing simple activities such as
a long time,
such as light housework. But it may take 6 months to a year for the back to get better completely. You may need to wear a back brace while your back heals, and your doctor may have to go in for a physio, or for you to go to physiotherapy.
Yeah.
But that, like I said, those are Canadian doctors, so it could be completely different. Americans, we're built for tough here. So, you know, 6 weeks he'll be back. It's fine. Now, on to Logan Paul, who hit YouTube earlier this week to give us an update, because according to Paul, he suffered a grade 3 MCL tear and is planning to treat the injury with just a brace and rehab. Doctors gave Paul a minimum of 6 weeks recovery time, which is the standard recovery time for this injury, which is usually about a 4 to 8 week recovery. He did say he was soaking it in rice, so that apparently helps.
Well, that recovery time lines up with a special time of the year, right?
Wait, 1, 2, how many? It is about 6 weeks, isn't it? Royal Rumble, yeah. So, Jose, Logan Paul, Randy Orton, definitely not the same situations here, but what do you think their futures are looking like?
Okay, for Paul, he's going to be around for a long time, unfortunately. Maybe he'll convince me later on, but this is bad news for Randy, man. Anytime you have like a back surgery, fusion, those are tough to recover from, especially
Matt Hardy did.
Bombs. And how long did it take him? Do we know?
I mean, completely, I don't know, but he was out of action for a long time to where he.
So speedy recovery, Randy.
Move, you know.
Yeah. I know. We talk some smack about you, but we love you, dog.
Oh yeah, no, I love Randy Orton nowadays. I heard some stories of him being an asshole earlier in life, but I'm sure he'd probably be like, yeah, I was an asshole earlier in life. That's the thing about Randy Orton. One thing about Logan Paul, though, if you guys didn't know, did you see this? He has his own.
Are you gonna get this?
I don't know. I'm debating it. It's $45. It's only available for another week. MattelCreations.com. If you guys want to go get it, it's $45. I got my Hogan and my Terry Funk this week. Although one of the boxes was fucking smashed.
Oh, you bastards.
Okay, let's move on,
Hard-earned money.
Because, I can't sit here all day and talk about toys.
Maybe we should get an interim host.
No, I'm done with interim. Over it. Because I think everyone should be done with interim titles.
Yeah.
The AEW, earlier this week, Thunder Rosa, she did it. She relinquished the AEW women's title.
I'm sure kicking and screaming.
I'm sure she did, because she left kicking and screaming. A lot of people wanted her to drop that title that night with that injury, but she didn't want to do it. This comes after weeks of speculation of rumors of Tony Khan wanting to make this move. Now, the interim championships on AEW are clearly been, I would say, it's clearly a mess and a headache. It's more of a headache than it's worth. Jose, what do you think? What do you think AEW should do in the future? How do you think they should have handled this situation? Should there be interim champions?
We talked about it a couple episodes ago, maybe last episode, but we definitely have to go the Jack Tunney route. 90 days. If you can't compete, you're stripped. 30 days, whatever it is. Just make a standard and stick with it.
Yeah. Well, I think AEW overall needs to go through a whole overhaul, with their rules and, this whole thing.
And the rating system, that's still kind of weird.
I mean, do they still even do the rating system?
I think they do it online. I saw it a couple weeks ago.
Really? I haven't even seen it. That's news to me. I think we should be on a rating watch,
Yeah.
But I don't know. They have this whole thing where it's like they had they had the wrestling company where everyone just comes in and does what they want. Oh, that gimmick doesn't work. Let me switch it up to this gimmick. Oh, I don't want to drop the title. I'm injured. That's not fair to take it off me. Have an interim title like they have in UFC. No, dude. No, I'm over it, And even with this, it seems to me that Tony Khan's over it too, because since having Thunder Rosa relinquish this title, Tony Storm, who was the interim champion, her interim championship has now turned into a legit championship.
Yeah, it's been retroactively confirmed.
After losing it.
Yeah.
Which is the weirdest fucking thing to me. It's just like, what?
It won't be weird in 6 months when everywhere you read, former champion, it won't read former interim champion.
Yeah, but
that's good news.
Yeah. It to me, it's just like
2-time champion, legit.
Yeah. It just seems very weird to me, this whole situation in AEW. I agree.
A fresh rule.
Jack Tunney, I think it should be a 30-day rule, but per circumstances, you know what I mean? And make it, but they need to set up a series of rules. They need to have the AEW rule book. Put out a book, sell the book. You'll make money off the book. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then we'll go back and we'll make amendments.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And we'll be like, oh, that's weird. This match ended like this, but per the AEW rule book right here, page 32, subsection 2 of the Aubrey Plaza Code. No, sorry, not Aubrey Plaza.
I love that woman. Anyway,
what's her name? Aubrey Edwards.
There you go.
I'm sure Aubrey Plaza would make a great referee in AEW.
Oh yeah,
all
Ballet.
Right. So, like I said, Thunder Rosa, her time as champion is done, and I mean, I'm glad now. Jamie Hayter is now the legit women's champion. There's no, she's not gonna have to fight anyone for it to keep it now. She is the champion. Good for her. And it really builds a new star on Jamie Hayter too. So.
Yeah, and if Rosa wants to come back and challenge, you're free to get the first rematch.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we go to our last topic of the night, Wrestle Kingdom 17. Well, while it was announced a few weeks ago that there would only be one night of Wrestle Kingdom on the week of January 4th, well, New Japan Pro Wrestling said, hold my drink, because it announced a second night of Wrestle Kingdom 17 days later.
Why? What?
On January 21st at the Yokohama Arena. Well, the company did make a statement on their website saying after January 8th, 2022, they did do a third night last year at the Yokohama Arena of Wrestle Kingdom. They said they sold out the arena. January 21st will see the same special festival of an event for the second year. This year, New Japan Pro Wrestling and Pro Wrestling Noah collide on a card full of interpromotional battles. What does this special night have in store for 2023? Stay tuned for more information.
I'm guessing it's a bunch of more interpromotional battles.
Well, I'll say this. Now, this does fall on a Saturday, and it was announced a couple weeks ago that Sting, Darby Allin, and the Great Muta will be performing at a Pro Wrestling Noah show one day later in Japan on the 22nd in a 6-man tag match.
Okay.
And a lot of people are speculating that this second night of Wrestle Kingdom could be because a certain company might be making their Tokyo debut or Japan, Tokyo and Yokohama Arena, Tokyo debut. AEW doing as a third company to the show. Jose, do you think this is an excuse? Because a lot of people aren't going to be available January 4th for the night of Wrestle Kingdom.
Right.
What do you think? What do you think's happening here?
Yeah, man, this is totally could be an excuse to let AEW Town come up and open the forbidden door for once. Start the year off great. More and more companies are taking the lead from WWE and doing multiple night events. Now, why not move the January 4th event to January 20?
Yeah. Well, it's tradition. Yeah, it's tradition. Tokyo Dome.
Okay.
You know, it's a giant baseball stadium, so you know that kind. You know, just laws and stuff. It's whatever. No,
and it was probably booked months ago, right?
Yeah, and it's always it's January 4th every single year. It doesn't matter
regardless of day.
Yep, regardless of day, which is fucking annoying sometimes. But whatever.
Oh yeah, Tuesday. What the fuck you mean? I gotta watch something at 2:00 in the morning?
Oh yeah, I think me and Michael did that one time. We didn't do a show immediately after, but we were messaging back and forth.
No, I was there.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, Wrestle Kingdom, 17 days late. You know what's really funny about this though, is the fact that I'm going to be 35 for the first night of Wrestle Kingdom and 36 for the second night of Wrestle Kingdom.
Sweet.
So I'll be a little older and a little wiser.
A little wiser, yeah.
By the time the second night of Wrestle Kingdom comes around. So,
is there any particular AEW star you would like to see at Wrestle Kingdom?
I don't know about a Wrestle Kingdom, but there's going to be a bunch of AEW stars I want to see when they come to the Cow Palace here in San Francisco, California. We just got I got my ticket to Dynamite, and
I'm contemplating Dynamite now because it lands on it's a Wednesday. It is at 5. I don't know. I'm up in the air.
Well, I think doors at 4 because they do but they keep the fans entertained. They're not just like, okay, here's a commercial. Stand up, sit down. Stand up, sit down. Like Justin Roberts, I think, sings to you or something. He's dancing. He's like, is that good, guys? Da, 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 da. No, I just got my ticket to Dynamite, so I'm super excited. I'm super juiced. It's gonna be my first AEW show I'm going to.
Yeah, I'm waiting for Revolution to go on sale. I'm so on that.
Yeah, because it goes on sale Friday, guys. I don't even think there's a pre-sale, so don't even look for that. Don't even bother.
Don't bother.
Don't even bother looking.
Look at the pretty bird over here.
Yeah, exactly. Over there. So my plan for that week, I think. Okay, I know this is just whatever. I think I might try to take Wednesday through Monday off.
Yeah.
Because, and I sent this tweet out. Look you got Wednesday Dynamite. Thursday there's nothing happening right now, but you never know what can pop up. And
Thunder might show up.
What?
Thunder might show up.
Yeah, WCW Thunder might have a show. We might get Glacier.
Nice.
But then Friday we have a Rampage at Cal Palace, which I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go eventually. Okay. But tickets, there's still so many left that I'm just like,
I can wait.
Yeah, I can wait because that's not my concern right now. My concern is Revolution on Saturday or Sunday. But there's a.
Oh, I thought it was Saturday. Damn.
No, it's a Sunday show.
Damn.
It's a Sunday show, but then what do you call it? West Coast Pro Wrestling is on that Saturday. So with all those AEW talent in town who have connections to West Coast, dude, I'm putting money that Will Hobbs will be there. I'm putting money that somebody like Thunder Rosa could be there. People that used to work, a Jungle Boy might show up.
Oh, can you imagine?
You know what I mean? So
now his name is Jack.
And I'll put it out there. I feel like the Acclaim would show up too. I don't know why. I'm not saying anything. I don't know shit. Even people who probably if there's anybody at West Coast and they see this, probably like, what are you saying this shit for, dude? You don't know anything. Yeah. You're right. I just want that to happen. I'm just manifesting it right now.
Yeah, no, the Cow Palace is a great place for them to show up.
I will say this though, because I'm a little nervous. I'm afraid they're going to have a horrible
mic system.
Not a mic system.
Oh,
I don't.
Okay.
I feel like they're not going to get a great turnout for Rampage for sure because it already looks like it's not. They might have to paper that show. In Revolution, I just hope San Francisco doesn't get blamed for having, because it's not traditionally the greatest market in the world for WWE. You know what I mean?
Right.
Look at the last time Raw came here. Even when Michael, our co-host Michael, went, it was probably one of the worst, the worst attended shows in Raw history.
Yeah, but that was really early post-COVID, right?
Yeah,
I hate saying post-COVID, but post-restrictions.
No, dude, COVID's over, dude. It's fine. We got RSV now.
Yeah,
we got the Death Star to work. See, it's got the Death Star right there. We got to worry about. Anyways, let's get out of here.
Andor's so good.
Let's get out of here.
Andor's good. I recommend.
Andor.
Andor.
All right.
That's You know Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
This is Cassian's
I-
origin story.
I watched Rogue One. I did, but it
All
never.
right. To each his own.
All right, let's get out of here. We'll see you guys next week for City Wrestling Radio. I am Korey Smith.
I am extremely tired. Jose Ocegueda.
And we will see you next week where we're going to talk about all the latest wrestling news, rumors, and things going on that we have to fill our time. See you guys next time. We'll talk to you again next week. Take care. Bye.